Hi everyone, this is the E-mini S&P 500 futures. I'm using a 2000 tick chart and a 21 EMA. I also trade the NQ, so the NASDAQ. This is the NQ on a 1000 tick chart. And so starting off, we have the overnight high up here, the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. And so we have this uptrend here going right into 830 right here. And so I started trading at around 8:15 today, so around this area at the end of this trend. And so we push up and we have a break. Now, when an uptrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new high. Now, at the same time, this downtrend has a break, and so when a downtrend gets a break, you can expect prices to attempt a new low. And so that's what you have here. This break of this uptrend is that attempt at a new low for this downtrend, and then you get that second attempt here. And so it fails to make a new low, but it succeeds to make a new high for this uptrend. So it's really just playing the range rules with the overnight highs and lows. We formed the overnight high there, we formed it there, and now that it's established, price is just trying to go back and forth between it. And so we have these two bigger attempts. Notice on a bigger picture, even though you have a couple legs there, it really is just two legs on a bigger picture. And so anyway, we push on up here. There's no trades on the way up, nothing clear to take, nothing really worth it. Like right here, some might want to take a long there, but and also because it holds right there, and some might say downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, but this second attempt lower is not very big compared to this first attempt, which it doesn't necessarily have to be the same size, but when you have, let me draw this out. So when you have this measured move in play, this does act like a magnet, and considering this is a sharp push down, it's very likely for price to reach this magnet down here. So you just don't know that it's going to for sure work right there. So I would want to see a nice big leg right there, two clear legs back, and we'd be much more likely to form a good setup around this area. But this is just not a good context area right there. So unfortunately nothing. We push on up here. Looks like you would have gotten out a little bit if you entered on the very end of it. You wouldn't have, it looks like, but it looks like you would have gotten out if you got in a couple ticks early, because it does go down below the stop right there. And so anyway, we push on up here. Now we have these two big legs up, and then price starts pushing on down. Now when we start pushing down here, this is a reversal area. We can expect price to form a reversal pattern here because, again, it's a reversal area. We just had an uptrend break, new high, two legs up, and we're pushing below the EMA. So this is a perfect place for a reversal pattern. It just doesn't set one up though. If we had pushed lower and gotten a couple legs back, then it's much more likely. What am I doing? Sorry about that. There we go. This is a great place for a reversal pattern. So let me just draw that out there. So you see this first entry long, second entry long failure. Obviously it doesn't set up, but this is what we would be looking for here. A push lower, two attempts to push back out, and then get in on that second push down, but it just doesn't set up here. And so instead what happens is we push on lower. We start to get pretty choppy here. You can kind of see that you have a couple legs up there in that chop. It's not worth taking it, but you can still see it. You get the downtrend, two legs pushing out, and then it pushes down to a new low. So the price action is still holding, even though it's not a perfect setup. So anyway, we push on up here. We kind of get this bigger picture break, and then it pushed to a new low. But really, on an even bigger picture, this whole thing is one leg down. Even though you have these pushes out here, it's still one leg on a bigger picture. And so we push on up here. Pretty clear that we're forming this range here because of that double bottom. And again, this is a great place that we can get a reversal pattern, because if we push up here and get two clear legs back, that would count as the two attempts at a new low for this downtrend break. So downtrend break, if we had gotten two clear attempts at a new low that actually ends up pushing above the EMA and holding with a good reversal pattern, then we could have just gotten along there. But unfortunately, we just get this sharp pushback below, very sharp pushback below, and then it does hold back above, and it's very bullish looking, but it's just a higher low. You want to see two attempts. This is just not enough, especially coming off of an expected reversal area. Again, the uptrend played out. We just push into a reversal. We only have one push down and then one attempt at a new low, so it's just not enough. So anyway, we push on up here. As soon as this measured move is met, price pushes on down. We end up making this double top here before really reversing, but we push on lower here, and now we reach the this low again. And so this is starting to form a triple test right here because we're finding some resistance. It's the third time that it's holding, but we don't get any clear setup. It's kind of just chopping within this trend right here. And so anyway, we get a small break and a push to a new low. So at this point, the downtrend is considered played out, but it's only on a small picture. Again, on an even bigger picture, this whole thing is one leg down, including this bigger picture break. But even at this point, even though this measured move is still in play, if price holds and pushes above the EMA, you can look to take a reversal pattern. You can look to take a failed second entry. But we just don't get that here. When we push up here, it starts finding resistance at that EMA. We push below, we get another push above, but there's no entries on the way up, and then we get a sharp push below. So really just nothing to take here. We push lower here, and as soon as this measured move is met, we get this reaction. Price attempts to fade back in because we have this range here. Breakout, you can expect price to attempt to fade back in. And so this is a perfect area to get a fade, especially because we're at this measured move right here. So that's two things going for a long there. And as you can see, I have this drawn out. This is ideally what would have happened here. Another failed second entry, reversal pattern, basically. Failed second entries, reversal patterns, that's, they're very common all over the chart, and they're very reliable if you know how to take them correctly. And so if it pushes on up here and you get a couple legs back, this would be first entry short, second entry short, failure, right off this measured move, fading back in. This would be a great area for it, but it just doesn't happen. So anyway, we push on lower here. You obviously don't want to enter short on this lower high directly into that measured move level. So anyway, we push on lower here. It starts to get a little bit choppy. We break this wider trend line right here, and then we get this large push back in. So finally, we're getting a sharp fade. When we push on in here, this is a great place, again, to look for a reversal pattern, a reversal from this push down, a failed second entry. And we get that here. We push on in, then we get these two sharp legs pushing back down with a very bullish, clear reaction to this low right here. And so we push on up, clear bullish bar, great context area. Even though it wasn't able to reverse right off that measured move, it just pushed on lower just a little bit and then just rocketed off. So very good place to get a reversal pattern. I really like this trade right here. Pushed on up. Now it's starting to get a little bit sideways here. It is the end of the day, so it's likely not going to be, too after. It might pick up a little bit, but it's already won right now. So if it does, it's not going to last for long. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video, although I kind of forgot to go over the NQ, so let's go over to that. So again, overnight highs here, overnight lows right here. I wasn't really as focused on the NQ today in the later portion just because, I kind of had to multitask. There's a couple things I had to deal with while trading, but anyway, so we push on lower here. Again, similar thing. Back to the ES just for 1 second here. With this sharp push down, we get a break. Price attempts a new low. Back to the NQ, we have sharp push down. Even though it's two legs on a bigger picture, it's still one leg, or it's two legs on a smaller picture. It's still one leg on a bigger picture. And so we have a break, but it just keeps on cranking higher. You get this attempt right here, but this is before I even started trading. But we push on up here, and then we get this sharp, very sharp, clear attempt at a new low right there. So you have this push down, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. And this is confluent with this uptrend right here. Because with this uptrend, you have break, first attempt at a new high, second attempt at a new high. So you have confluence, you have the failure at a new low from this downtrend, and you have the entry on the second attempt for this uptrend. So great place to look for a long. Unfortunately, it did not set up very clearly. We did not get a clear setup. It just took the hell off, really. So no way to get in on that. We push on up here. So now this uptrend has a break and a new high. It is considered played out at this point. And so it's not surprising we get a sharp push down. This is a great place to look for a reversal pattern. Now we don't get one in the ideal place up here. Ideally we push down to like here and get a couple legs back. We still got something that's pretty decent, but not perfect. So it's not, well, it's a good looking trade, but ideally we would have gotten it up here. We push on lower here, and then we get these two legs back. So this is a failed second entry. Starting from the top, we have first entry long, second entry long, failure. It's right after this uptrend played out, so it is a good place for it. But notice it is getting a little bit choppy right here. As long as you keep your target within the chop, it doesn't really matter. You can still see it pretty clearly there. So, it's not like you don't want to not take it just because it's going a bit sideways. You can still clearly see the legs, and you have plenty of room within this sideways action. And so anyway, we push on lower here, great looking short, we push out these lows here, and we fade back in. So it already is showing range, we have these highs right here, we have these lows. When we push out, we fade back in. Now this is another good place for a reversal pattern. We push on in, great place for a failed second entry. That's really, when you're in a range and you're coming off the lows, that's basically just what you want to look for. You want to get a failed second entry. But that doesn't happen here. We just push on up, make this higher low off of the low right there. It does reconfirm that low, so that's good for the range. And then we push on up here, get two clear legs up at this point, and then there's no way to get in on a long up to this point, but it goes up there. We push lower, we get an attempt to reverse, and then price just pushes on up to these highs. So confirming these highs right here, pushing on lower. This is another place for a reversal pattern. Of course, coming off these highs, getting a failed second entry, holding below the EMA would be great. A triple test is an important area, but we just didn't get a clear entry as a triple test. So I couldn't take this as a triple test. But if we had pushed lower, got a couple legs back, great place for another reversal pattern. But it just doesn't happen here. So we push lower here, get this small break, push to a new low. Notice how it's not very clear, but downtrend, small break, small push to a new low, and then price attempts to reverse. And then we make this double bottom attempting to reverse. Now on a bigger picture, this break to a new low is not just the break to a new low, it's really just one leg on a bigger picture. This whole thing here, these two legs up, is the break, the two-legged break, and then price makes its second leg down. So we have this measured move down right here. Price barely misses it. It bounces on that this low right here. And again, considering the two legs down, if we push on up, great place for a reversal pattern, or if you get like a perfect higher low entry. But we just don't get anything here. And so anyway, we kind of just get choppy, we push down, and after we reach this measured move, it starts to chop on it for a bit. It's pretty clear, and then price takes on off. It just takes on off without us. Goes straight to the other side of the range, two legs back right there. Uptrend with a two-legged break. That is a place you want to look for long, but this is just very thin. Ideally we'd get a couple smaller legs that'll hold on the EMA there. Because the EMA was plenty far away from price to get two clear legs holding on to it. But anyway, we just got these two sharp legs pushing down. Now price is pushing up to make a new high. I don't like this higher low right here. I mean, it's just very huge, very big after spiking up. I would want to see a clear push above and hold above the EMA. So anyway, now we're just going into a chop spree, basically. It's going straight sideways. So that's going to do it for this video. Looks like price is making that second attempt right there. So uptrend, break, first attempt higher, and then starting from here, second attempt higher. So we'll see how price reacts to that. When it reaches it, price could, whether it bounces right off of it or pushes through and fades back in, we could look for something to push below and hold underneath this resistance area right here and get a short. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped out in some way, and thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.